Okay guys, this video is another one that I'm making about being cap conscious and to be aware of the possibility that you might have to approach the enemy cap in order to win the game. And you may have all seen Quickie Baby's recent video where he wants to improve World of Tanks, and more power to him. If most of his recommendations were adopted, I think it would be very good for the game. We'll see about that. One of his complaints is about the 3-5-7 matchmaking formation for various tiers that was introduced into World of Tanks on April 4th, 2017, which is, we're getting close to 2 years ago, and it's still with us. And the problem with it is crystal clear. Those top vehicles, whatever tier it is, in this case 3 guys in 10s, if they do not run into the tier 10s on the other side, in certain circumstances they can just blow away the opposition that they run into. That's not going to happen in every game, but it happens a lot. And especially if they're skilled players, let's be honest, their battle drill is really, really good, and they're excellent at dealing out damage without suffering it in return. And I respect their abilities, but on the other hand, what is the enemy team to do if they're running into those guys in lower tiers? Their lack of skill is compounded by the superiority of the enemy vehicle. So this is absolutely true. I'll tell you the exact moment when I told my platoon mates here, Jim Ape and Gritzbro, in their Progettos. I'll tell you the exact moment when I said we're going to have to switch flanks and try to cap. Now the key thing is you don't do it too early. You want the enemy to keep pushing and getting further and further away from their cap. And I've done this many, many times. And the key thing, like I say, is the timing of it. You can't do it too soon, but you can't leave it too late. And you will not believe, this is another true thing, the number of times that it works with literally 1 or 2 seconds to spare. And that's what happened in this battle. Now, one of the reasons we had to switch flanks here, or get out of dodge, is that Gritzbro was almost killed. Now the arty shells land here, as you know, and I call this area Splash Central. With three arties, it's devastating. So watch Gritzbro there. He is about to get hit again, and there we are. So I said we're getting out of here, and it's not too bad because we've got a tier 10 medium, we've got a tier 9 medium. The 50 TPPR is approaching, and the T54A1, watch him. I'm just speeding this up a little bit. Watch him get out of the situation too. So this is a better defensive position. There's more protection from arty. They can hold out here for quite a while. And not only did the 60 TP come over here, he's a heavy tank. Usually they go the other way. The Conway's there, and also the Object 263. A TD came forward, right? He's not waiting for stuff to happen back here. He's joining the fight because on this map, I call this the zone of destiny. Very often, whoever wins this location wins the game. Not every time, but often enough to make you very worried about it. So we're pulling out, like I said, and we're not going down the middle because that would be too soon and too obvious. It's got to be as far away from these guys as possible. So this is probably the exact moment I said we're going to work towards the cap. We're going to attack these guys over here, and we're going to go this way and try to make the best of it, right? Compensate for the lack of skill, maybe, and the lack of heavy vehicles to match the enemy. So here we go. We're headed over, and I do a couple circles here because I don't want, like I said, I don't want to go too soon. We're trying to get the timing right here, so I think yep. Waiting for the gathering of the clans. So Jim's going first because he is undamaged, and I'm going second, and Gritzbro's bringing up the rear because he's the most heavily damaged. So we're going to cross this bridge, and you can see they're still holding out on the other flank, and we're gonna defeat these guys, and you can see they're being worn down, so it looks pretty good. Okay, I'm just gonna speed this up here. Pardon my battle drill. The Badger had just fired, so I missed. There we go. Get rid of the FV215B, and we're headed over there. Like I said. And Prot is there. And we're just avoiding those guys. Get behind them. Now, I think possibly what dictated the outcome here to a greater or lesser degree was fear of that Badger. There was the Pantera there, and also a T-54E1. You know, those players are not highly experienced, and they probably did not want to expose themselves to that Badger. Anyways, we'll see about that. And here we go. I'll take the long way. And I'll just say something here. Okay, my belief is to start the clock with the most people. If you're going to do that, you do it as early as possible. Now, if I'm on the enemy team and if I was really undamaged, I would be, the moment the clock, as a light tank driver, I'm headed back as soon as possible. And those guys waited too long. So we'll just watch this. Jim and the Projector are on his way. The Badger is still possibly deterring those guys, and we'll just watch this. And there's the fellow shows up too late, and it's game over. Now, like I said earlier, the key thing if you're going to do something like this is to have the timing right, and you can't do it too soon. You have to wait for the enemy to get as far away from their own flag as possible. And how do you do this if you're not in a platoon? I platoon for tactical reasons. It's friendship is great too, and jokes and all that. But since I only play light tanks, I'm very conscious of the fact that I can't carry battles through firepower alone, and this is one way of overcoming that deficiency. And with 3 guys in a platoon, you can confound the enemy expectations and win games, and win a significant number of games. Because I stopped playing in August, end of August. I came back after 3 months, and in the first 2 days I did this about 3 or 4 times. I might make more videos about that. And why not? Why not win the game instead of losing it? And we had a little firefight over here, which was quite successful, and then we did this. So it's a legitimate tactic, and I encourage everybody to think of doing this where appropriate. So it's game over, and I hope you enjoyed the video.